Hi, Facebook. Guess what? It's 2018 and I am back. I've had several of you hit me up on Facebook and say you missed your daily videos, so here we go. Now, I'm going to start this with a disclaimer. So if you're watching this video and you are appalled because you think I am driving, please realize that when you use the Facebook Live in selfie mode, which means the camera's facing me, not out, it reverses everything. So I am actually sitting on the right side of the car. I am the passenger.
I'm driving.
And this is Allison, and she is driving, hands on the wheel. So no more comments about how awful I am for driving while doing live video. I'm not doing that. I would never do that. I have a hard enough time driving with no distractions, so I don't need this. But I wanted to talk to you today about, sorry, we're hitting some bumps. Oh gosh, that makes me jiggle, so that's not a good thing. But anyway, not a great look for a thumbnail, I'm sure. But anyway, I wanted to talk to you about titles for your podcast episodes. So one of the things that I see again and again and again is podcasters sometimes struggle to determine what a good title is for their show. And so what ends up happening is they end up using a lot of characters at the beginning of their title, and it might even be like some kind of code. Like if your, podcast is about something marketing or whatever, you might have like something SSM for something marketing. Did I do that? Something marketing. Yeah. SSM 041. And then you'll have episode, title. It might be the person's name, and it might be what it's about. So it might be like Christy Hostler Facebook live streaming video or something like that. And you have to make a choice as a podcaster of whether your titles of your show. Thank you, Liz. Great topic. I appreciate it. We'll see if you have some things to add about how you've done your titles as well. But you have to make a decision as a podcaster about, do you make your headlines? There goes Mickey. If do you make your headlines and your titles something that would draw your listener in, make them want to read it, like enticing headlines. And some of my writer friends might be better at telling you what a good headline is for a show. But the thing is, you have to captivate that person before they even come into your and listen to your show. So you want to make your title interesting. So in other words, if I was coming on a show because I'm just going to make up something, okay? I'm going to make up something completely ridiculous. I'm coming on a show because I have lost a ton of weight, and I did it by going vegan. And let's say maybe I lost 150 pounds. So is it going to be more interesting for a topic or a title for a show to say, Christy Hostler lost weight going vegan or something like that? Or would it be more interesting to say, 50-year-old woman loses weight by going vegan and runs marathons or whatever? Now, I'm just making all this up. Not vegan, I don't run marathons and all that, but I'm just saying, you see how it could be very different what somebody is doing on the show versus how we categorize them. So in other words, if somebody is a expert on marketing or email funnels or whatever, if you just put their name and email funnels, it tells that listener or potential listener nothing about what the show is. But if someone could tell you 3 easy ways to build your funnel, you might be more interested in listening to that. So it would be better to have a title that says 3 easy ways to build your marketing funnel. Hey, Pam, thanks for the little prod this morning. I know you're poking me to hold me accountable, so you won't see the last of me this time, so it's a good thing. So the whole thing, yeah, Liz, the second title is more interesting, and that's the whole thing. You want to give people titles that they'll want to listen to, and it'll make them want to listen to the show. So yes, you guys, carry on, have a conversation. Don't let me stop you. That's awesome. But the whole thing is, you've got to be thinking about grabbing the listener's attention. iTunes is a crowded space, and it's one of those things where if you go through and look at iTunes, you will see tons and tons and tons of examples of terrible ways to title shows. So thank you, Pam. I'm glad you missed me. Yes, I'm back. I'll keep doing this because I'm getting a lot of good conversations out of it, and I like doing it. I mean, don't tell anyone I like doing it, because I'm not supposed to like doing this, because I did it to make myself comfortable with it. It's not like I'm addicted or anything, but I'm getting better at being comfortable with it. So my comfort zone's expanding, and that was the point. So anyway, so the problem with sometimes choosing titles. How can I make essential oil chemistry sexy? Well, sexy essential oils, that's chemistry, sexy chemistry. That's kind of doesn't really go together there, Liz. But that, it's the interesting thing is talking about what people can do or what people can accomplish with essential oils. And you might have, an essential oil, do you call them combinations or formula maybe, that you can use, someone can use to improve this condition or improve that condition. So if you want to talk about what the listener could get out of it, 3 things that, 2 essential oils that can help you unstop your sinuses, or unclog, unstop, open up. Maybe use different words that I'm saying, but you get what I'm saying. You open up your sinuses, or that will help you have a clear head, or that will help you whatever. Oh yes, you're exactly right, Pam, and I'm going to talk about SEO. I'm going to talk about SEO because there's a difference with podcasters for choosing a title that someone would find in iTunes and make it attractive to them to listen to the show, which is in iTunes. But then at the same time, for SEO, you've got to worry about your keywords and that sort of thing. So I would also recommend, if you're not a WordPress expert, or if your podcast is even on a different type of website like a Squarespace or something else, choose your URL for your show. You can edit your permalink for your show and use some of your keywords in your show. And so it doesn't necessarily mean you can edit your snippet for SEO, you can edit your URL for SEO, but you very well may have a different title for your show on your website because it is going to be SEO friendly than you would actually put on that show in iTunes or in your feed or in Libsyn. So some things you want to focus on are in Libsyn and in the iTunes, the feed places that your feed goes out, you want to focus on what people will get out of the episode. But that's not going to be the best thing for SEO. So you want to make sure with SEO that you've got your keywords in there. A lot of times with podcasters, sometimes ranking in SEO, I mean, if you're talking about essential oils and that's your keyword, it's going to be really hard to rank on that because that is a highly competitive keyword. But maybe you have a guest on your show, or maybe there's a particular essential oil, whether it's, I'm going to try to say essential oils, and I don't know, eucalyptus. I don't know all the essential oil names. I was going to say like calendula or something that's just fun to say, but I don't even know if that's an oil, but it's a flower, so I don't know. Anyway, but if you get to a point where you are trying to rank on unique things for SEO purposes, that's where you want to be. So it might be your guest that you want to rank, for if someone's searching for them online, then your show would come up as where they were a podcast guest, or even a specific aspect of what you're talking about. So for Liz, it might be, distilling. I think that's a word that goes along with essential oils. Distilling, I think Liz can do lavender. So just, how to distill lavender in your home. That would be a thing better than saying Liz Fulcher distills lavender or something like that, So you want to try to make them enticing, but at the same time, feel free to use different titles for your feed and where people are listening to your show. See, Liz, I'm doing great with the lingo. I do like essential oils. I just have no idea what to do with them. And we what do you call that thing we do? We aerate, or those little things. We have those little things you plug in that mist it out. That's what it is. So I don't know what you call that, but anyway, we're getting better. And I think they can do a lot of things that we're not using them for, so we probably all need to be informed on that. So anyway, but the whole thing, diffuse, that's it, diffuse. Thank you. Confused for the diffuse. So anyway, so I hope that helps you a little bit. One of the things I would encourage you to do is not get so caught up on your own numbering syntax. for your episodes. It's not that your episodes don't need numbers, but the first 13 characters of your show do not need to be the word episode, EPISODE, space, and then the episode number and colon. It doesn't need to be that much. You could just put the number and the colon. In fact, some people will move that to the end, because even in searches, if episode and the number is the very beginning of your title, number one, that's terrible for your SEO too, because they want your keywords at the beginning of your show, not the episode numbers. So there's some things you want to consider about that, but just try to make it where people will be drawn in and will be curious about what the episode is. If you saw an episode title that grabbed your attention, whenever you were looking at a podcast, pay attention to that. What did they do for that made you curious about doing it? Like when I see somebody that's like something that says, somebody in, maybe let's just take something current. Like if I see something about cryptocurrency or something now, and somebody, had 1,000% increase in whatever, and they've done something crazy with it, I definitely would be interested in knowing what they did. Whenever I see people on YouTube talking about how I make money online, or 3 ways that I have revenue streams coming from my online businesses, I want to know about that, because I want to know what they're doing, which is different than saying earn passive income in some other way, right? So you've got to basically be able to look at what draws your attention in and use that as sort of the template for building your own titles. So how about, you don't have to be a chemist to understand essential oil chemistry. How about, that's good, but you're right, it is a little bit long, but how about, hey Luann, good to see you. I hate to tell you, for those of you that are up north, my old dirty New Jersey girl, Luann, we're not freezing down here. I mean, we are freezing, but it's 62 degrees. So, still sunny and 62. So, we've just got on long sleeve t-shirts and shorts. So, for those of you that are in the tundra and frozen, sorry.
We don't have an extra
sorry,
bedroom.
Not sorry. We have extra bedrooms. Get a flight. But no, Liz, back to your question about the essential oils. How about, an everyday guide to essential oils, or the layman's guide to essential oils, or how to use essential oils, if you're not a PhD, or those types of things. But you're on the right track with that for sure. So definitely, but think about those things that are going to draw people in with your titles, because it's more about what they can get out of it, and why, because they want to know why they're listening to the show. Are they going to learn 3 ways to build an email funnel? Are they going to learn 2 foods that they should never do this, the beginner's guide to, or 3 easy ways to do this, that, or the other? They want to know what they're getting out of the show. So use those types of language, that type of language in your titles, and create those titles. And then you might want to worry about the SEO title and your web post title in a separate way, in a completely different manner, because you can format your URLs differently for that. So it's just something to think about. And if you look in, oh my gosh, if you just go through iTunes and just start randomly clicking on podcast album covers, you will begin to see examples of terrible titles. And sometimes it's like TMN 046 version 1, or something, something that, like, you would name a file name or something. It's kind of ridiculous, and people aren't using that space. But use it, because that's what people will find you under. That's what people will will draw them into listening to the episode, more so than anything you could do, other than screaming at them about what it's about. So make sure you do that. And if you have questions about your titles, ask somebody, put it out there, crowdsource it to your people. Would you be more interested in this, or would you be more interested in that? And see what people say. Sometimes it'll surprise you, but most of the time it's probably pretty predictable about what you're doing. And guess what, you guys, it's time to go get a haircut. So it's an exciting day for us ladies down here in the Keys. So anyway, I'll be back tomorrow. I'll come back tomorrow. I'll come back. You don't have to beg me anymore. Please stop sending me begging emails. I'll come back. And I'll keep doing the Facebook Lives, because I've got to do more things for my presentation at PodFest in Orlando in February. So February 8th through the 10th. So if you haven't registered for that, if you're in the north right now, let me just say Florida in February, not a bad idea. February to 8th through the 10th in Orlando. It's going to be a great conference and going to be a great thing. See, Liz, thank you. I have all this energy, and what could I be doing if I had done some essential oils this morning? And I know that's probably not even what you say you do, essential oils, but if I had used them, I couldn't even imagine. I might have run to the hairdresser. You never know. So, anyway, you guys have a fantastic day. If you are frozen and cold, I'm so sorry. We got room for you. Just come on down anytime. Just book a flight to Key West. We'll come pick you up at the airport and let you thaw out a little bit. So anyway, all right, I'll see you guys here tomorrow. I don't know what time I'll be on, but probably earlier in the day rather than later, because once we get the cleaning lady coming in the afternoons, it gets a little noisy in there with the vacuum and all that. So I'll try to either get out or get on earlier in the day. So you guys have a fantastic afternoon. Good to see you again. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for participating. And, if you're inspired to do live streaming, not the best example of what to do, but hey, we're learning, and we're here to learn as we go. So for those of you that are doing it, more power to you. So, all right, have a good one. See you tomorrow. Have a good night. Yeah, come on down, Liz. Come on. Key West. We could always use more essential oils in Key West to calm these people down. But it's mainly the tourists we need to calm down. Everyone else here is already on island time. So, all right. Have a good one. Bye.